Namaste. One love. Hotep. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in to another occult healing video, another session. Um, Excuse me. Today I want to focus on, the secrets of your love life pertaining to astrology, okay? Because your love life, your relationships, your intimate relationships are a very, very important part is a very, very important part of your well-being, your health, your stress levels, your happiness. Okay, so it's super, super important that you have your intimate relationships in order and understanding exactly what you need and what you need to give as well. You need to give and receive at the same time. Okay, so with astrology, you can find this exact map. You can find this exact map out. Okay, so the first thing I want to bring up, I want to say is that do not get confused by the sun sign. I know I say this all the time, but I know many, many people who judge relationships, who judge the people that they might have a potential relationship with by their sun sign, especially people that are into astrology, that just have an interest in astrology. They'll be like, oh, I'm a Gemini and you're a Cancer, so we don't go together. Okay, that's where you mess up at, because your sun sign does not dictate how compatible you are in a relationship. All right, the aspects that dictate how compatible you are in a relationship are your moon sign, your Mars, your Venus, and your seventh house. Okay, so I'm gonna break these down a little bit, but of course, for all the people that are new to this and don't know this stuff, you can set up a consultation with me, guys. You can, my email is in the description of this video. It's occulthealing22@gmail.com. I will do your whole entire natal chart. We will hop on the phone for a couple hours, however long we need to take, and I'll break your whole entire chart down, every single aspect, not just relationships, but also your career, what you can do to your path, your destiny, your past lives, dictating some of the things in your home life, your childhood, your like I think I said career already. Many different aspects that can really change your life. Okay, so if you want a consultation, you want to learn where these spots are and how you can mold them all together, because even if you do find them online for free, they're inaccurate. You can find out it's the placements on your planets, but do not get fooled by the descriptions, okay? Because they're going to be inaccurate, because you need to mold them all together. They're only looking at things individually. So first thing I want to talk about is the moon sign. Now, why the moon sign is important in relationships, and I'm only going to talk about pertaining to intimate relationships, because the moon sign has a lot of other things that it controls, and it means a whole lot of more things. All these planets and the positions that I'm talking about are going to be specifically for relationships. So the moon sign represents the true you. It's the you when you come home from work, and you come home from school or whatever, and you take your clothes off and you put on your sweatpants, and and you get relaxed and you plop on the couch. It's the real you when you're no longer putting on a mask, when you're no longer trying to show off. Okay, so this is very important, because after a while, okay, in the beginning of a relationship, everybody is on their best behavior. We all know this. We call this the honeymoon phase, right? Everybody's trying to show out. They're trying to impress other people, so they're putting on their best self. Okay, so it's very, very misleading, because what happens when you get comfortable, like I said, when you come back home, you shut that door from work, from school, you're comfortable, right? And you're a whole different individual. So this is why the moon sign is important in relationships, because it's going to be that person you are, or your partner is, when they get comfortable. All right. How do you feel about this kind of energy? Does it match up? Okay. Because we know water and water go together. Also, water and earth. Now, fire and fire go together, and also fire and air, just like air and air, and earth Okay, so those are the elements that match up. All right, so your moon sign dictates this, and also dictates how you like to be nurtured and how you like to nurture others. Okay, so if you have um some people don't need to be nurtured as much as other people. It's like those who have earth on their moon, and also air on the moon. They don't need to be nurtured as much, but in return they also don't nurture others as much. Okay, so this is very important. And the ones who do nurture, who do have a lot of emotions, these are your water and fire people. All right, but there also needs a balance. This is why, fire and air goes together, and also water and earth goes together. All right, so you need to think about these things. If you know your partner's if you know your moon sign or your partner's moon sign, this is what you want to look at, because you want to be focused on how you can serve them. All right, because a lot of times in relationships we're focused on how somebody can serve us. That's where you mess up. Okay, that's where you mess up. We're always looking from our perspective, because best believe you get what you put out. That's a law. That's a cause and effect. So if you start nurturing your partner properly, best believe they'll start nurturing you the best way that they can. That's how it works, guys. That's how it works with anything. You have to step up and make the initiative. I don't care if you're a female or male. Take this advice. Step up and take the initiative, and watch you get that back. Okay, so the moon sign is very, very important. All right. Now the next thing is the Venus. Now Venus basically represents how you like to run a relationship, how you like to show your love, how you like to flirt and stuff like that. Like how you like to control the relationship, right? How do you like to show your love? It can lead into sex as well, but it's more so making love. It's not like the primal sex. Okay, that's Mars. I'm gonna get to that. So if you have fire here, if you have a fire sign on your Venus, this means you need to make the relationship exciting. You need to make it adventurous, or you'll get bored really easy. Fire people get bored really, really fast if it's not exciting. All right. So if you have a fire sign on the on the Venus, and you're wondering why, like, you're losing the drive, it's because it's not exciting enough. Go out to theme parks, get on some rides together, go to haunted houses or something, work out together, play sports together, whatever it is. Make it exciting, make it physical. All right, travel together and stuff like that. You gotta think outside the box when you have fire on your Venus sign. This is how you can keep the relationships intact, either with yourself or with your partner. That's why it's important, very, very important, to get your natal chart reading. Okay. If you have air here, this means you need to make a relationship intellectual. You need to have long conversations with your partner. You need a partner that picks your brain and you pick their brain. Go out to museums together, read books together, go to lectures together. Okay. So many things that I could just think of. You need to learn. You need to make a learning experience out of your relationship. Okay, but it's very, very important to know that you need to communicate. You need to communicate with your partner. Communication is really, really big when you have air on the Venus. Okay, if you have water here, they say water signs are very, very clingy, but of course, you need to figure out where your planets are placed in the houses. I mean, it's so deep. This is why it's important to get a natal chart reading. But if you have water here, it's not about going out as much. It's about connecting with each other on a deep level. So this is why it's cuddling, watching movies and stuff, and really getting to know somebody, cooking for each other in the household, that kind of thing. Taking care of each other, massaging each other, stuff like that. Just really serving each other more so behind the scenes in the household, where it's just you and that other person, and you getting to know each other on a deep level. Okay. Now, if you have an earth sign on here, earth is pretty much anything, but it needs to have, the relationship needs to have stability. There needs to be a plan for somebody who has earth. You know, you guys have to have all your things together. You know, like, all right, we both have jobs, we both have, you know, we're both on our path. It has to make sense for you as an earth sign on the Venus, okay? You have to have a plan, like, okay, we're moving along, we're doing this, we're doing that. Okay, she's good to me, I'm good to her, you know, that kind of thing. Okay, so stability is key for your happiness in a relationship. It can't be all over the place like a fire or air, you know, where you're just winging it. You don't know what's happening. Like, you guys got to know what you're doing in a relationship. You know, what are you guys talking for? What are the things you guys have in common? You know, how can you help each other out? That's the kind of thing you know you want to really pay attention to. Okay, guys. Now the next planet is Mars. Now Mars represents the sexual nature, represents your sex drive and your sexual partnership. Okay, so with that being said, with if you have fire here, again, think of it as you need excitement. It can't just be, all right, we're gonna have sex in the bed every single day. No, you need to bring a little bit of danger here. You need to bring a little bit of excitement to the sexual relationship. Okay, how can you make it exciting? How can you make it dangerous? How can you make it fun? All right, or you're gonna lose that sex drive. You're not gonna be interested. All right, you might chase excitement somewhere else, like going to the club and stuff like that. You know, because it's exciting, it's dangerous, it's, you know, it's just new. All right, it's kind of connected with air too. If you have air here, you know, they say air kind of has the lowest sex drive, you know. But you got to look at it from this aspect, right? Because the reason why it seems like they have the lowest sex drive is because in today's time, people are not in the mind as much anymore. And the mind is what stimulates the sex drive for the person that has air on the Mars. All right. They need to be stimulated mentally. So if you have a partner or yourself, you know, if you have a partner especially that has air on the Mars, you know you need to stimulate them mentally. Pick their minds, have long conversations with them, be interested in what they are interested in. Okay? If they're speaking about something, listen with your whole body and be intrigued by what they're interested in and watch their sex drive start to spark. Okay? And if you have air here, then you know you need to communicate this to your partner. I don't care if you're a male or a female, you need to step up and communicate what you need, because if your relationship goes downhill, you need to take responsibility, because you attract everything that comes to you. And also they say that air people go from person to person, and this is because of curiosity. They're curious. They want to learn. They want to try new things. They're just curious. So it may seem like they just go from person to person. That's because nobody's stimulating them mentally, intellectually. You know? So you want to connect with them on the mind, okay? Now, if you have water here, this means when you have water on the Mars, you know, it can kind of get confusing for you guys, because you associate your love aspect to the sexual nature. And particularly in this generation, in this time period, people are just doing this for fun now. It's not as deep as it was 30 years ago, where the sexual act was deep. Like, if you had sex with somebody, like, you know, they are yours. Like, now it's just free. So it's kind of confusing for the people who have water here, who put their heart into it, who put their all into it, their everything into it. Okay? So essentially it becomes very, very deep. You need somebody to express this deep a love, even if it is a fling, it has to be on a deep level where it's like almost like destiny, where you guys were destined to be here in this moment, and you're just moving along the path. Okay, so you have to have an emotional connection, or your emotions have to be present here. So if you're upset, you know, as somebody who has water here, or your partner's upset and in a bad mood, it's not a good time because their emotions are not present. Unless you're that skilled and you can take their mind off of things, you can take their emotions off of things, and you can bring it here. Okay. Now, if you have an Earth here, Earth signs, they have the highest sex drive because this is the body. The Earth represents the physical body. So they need a lot of physical attention. All right, this is very important. If you have a partner that has an Earth sign here, you need to give them physical attention. They might not show it, of course, because it's Earth. They're not gonna, they don't want to show it. All right, but give them physical attention. Give them hugs, touch them, kiss them, hold their hand. Don't bypass what you think, because like I said, they're gonna, especially real Earth people, they're gonna act like, oh, I don't need that, but they really do. Trust me. Show them a lot of physical attention, okay? Because they are stimulated through the physical touch more than any other element, okay? So the next thing I want to talk about is the seventh house, because the seventh house represents what you attract, and there's a reason why you attract, because remember, whatever you give out, you get back. So a lot of times we project things out. That's the ascendant sign. You know, we kind of project the wrong image out, and people react to that image and they get attracted to that. So for all the people like, oh, I only attract, why do I always attract, you know, bad people, you know, messed up people? Well, you attract what you are. You don't, here's the secret to you guys. You don't attract what you want. You don't even attract what you need. You attract what you are. So if you're attracting bad things, then that means you need to become somebody else. The person that you are right now is not, you know, if you stay the same, you're going to get the same results. Okay, so your seventh house shows you primarily when you're on autopilot what you're attracting. Okay, and this is how you can work around that, how you can change yourself by having awareness. The seventh house shows you awareness. Okay, it shows you awareness. All right, what do I need to do to change this? Or if it's exactly what you want, what do I need to do to get more of it? Because the seventh house can be equated to relationships as well, how the relationship could be ran. You know, of course, there's other things. Like I said, I'm specifically talking about intimate relationships here. So, because like I said, intimate relationships are so important. When you take all these aspects, you want to mold them together. Of course, they're going to contradict them. They're going to contradict each other, because to be human is contradiction. All right, we're constantly contradicting ourselves all the time. All right, so this is why it's important to have that natal chart reading, to having a proper astrologer break this information down for you so you can get it as a whole, because there's only so much I can say if I don't know exactly where your Venus is at, what's sitting next to your Venus, what house it's in, what sign is ruling it. All right, so to help you guys out, you know, really study this. If you already know your whole chart and stuff like that, or if you already got a reading from me and you're still having trouble with your relationships, look at these aspects. Look at the moon, look at the Mars, look at the Venus, and look at the seventh house. And you need to look at this in your partner. Okay, it's one thing to understand yourself. That's good, perfect. That's the first step. Understand yourself. Okay, the next step is understand your partner fully, with the same ambition that you went with when you was trying to understand yourself. Okay, so again, my email is in the description of this video. Please contact me fast, because the spots fill up. I'm only one person. I can only do so many readings. So contact me fast, please. If you need that natal chart reading, I also do other consultations. Just look in the description, you'll see it. Okay. So, but this is very, very important, and for your happiness, because you could be doing all the right things. You could be working out, eating right. You could be, working on your mentality. But then if your relationship sucks, that your relationship is a humongous part of your well-being. It's still going to keep you in a negative emotion. All right. So astrology can help you out with that. So thank you all for watching. I appreciate you. I love you. One love to all you. Namaste to all you. Hotep to all of you. Any other greetings and goodbyes. I just appreciate you guys for supporting my channel. Please like, please subscribe, please share to your people on social media. Anybody who's interested in this kind of stuff, share this stuff, okay? So we can build this community. All right. So I want to thank you all again. Peace, love, and blessings. Thank you.